Abortion is a heavy subject, and it can be hard to talk about something so tiptoed around and controversial in the eyes of so many because there are so many differing opinions. That's why we should talk about it more. We need to break down the stigma, and we need to start asking ourselves how we can support these women instead of ridiculing them and trying to tell them how and what they should do and trying to control them and what they do with their bodies. Because the truth is, there will be unwanted pregnancies. There will always be unwanted pregnancies, and women will find a way to terminate them if it's safe or not. And there are many situations where they try to do this in unsafe ways, and that's why we need to start the discussion about how to prevent the situation from even happening in the first place. Restrictions on abortion violate human rights in many ways. The right to happiness, the right to liberty, the right to privacy, the right to bodily autonomy. These are all rights in the United States that are stepped on when restrictions are put around abortion. And according to an informational page on abortion from the United Nations, it is a state's duty to ensure that women have the right to abortion as part of their fundamental human rights. There are only benefits that come with supporting the women who need abortion. There are studies that show that ensuring a women's right to choose will definitely improve her quality of life. Abortion should no longer be a discussion in politics. Quite frankly, government officials and politicians, they don't have the education to be even speaking about a medical procedure, especially whether or not it should be allowed. Opinions on this are usually based off of personal beliefs or personal values or morals. And it's just wrong to try and base everybody else's life off of your own. It's wrong to try and control an entire group of people without consulting them, without taking into account the drastic effects that this will have. And I think that a lot of politicians, they ignore this. Especially, I do want to talk about what's happening in Oklahoma, where the governor, he has claimed that he is the most pro-life governor and he will sign any anti-abortion bill to come across his desk, which he is doing. And they are trying to nearly ban abortion by facing people who perform abortions with prison time or insurmountable fines. And if this can happen now, if this bill is passed, then there's no telling how many bills will be passed, how many restrictions will be put on abortion, and how many women will not have the right to choose anymore. According to the World Health Organization, over 23,000 deaths occur due to unsafe abortions, and with climbing restrictions on abortions, this number will only rise. And that's why people who are uneducated, politicians and government officials who think that they should be able to make decisions on whether or not abortion should be allowed, when, how it should be allowed, they're uneducated, they're naive, and they're doing this based on their own personal and moral beliefs, it should be a crime. It shouldn't be allowed. Medical professionals should be the only ones who are able to tell somebody if they should or should not have a medical procedure. These people who use their religious beliefs or what they think when they think life starts to control other people, that's when it's a problem, and it's a huge problem. With all of the things that government officials and politicians already have power over, I think that we should leave medical decisions to doctors and not try to overstep, especially when we're uneducated. And see, I wouldn't even try to put my foot in somewhere where it doesn't belong. I wouldn't try to advise somebody on a medical situation because I would know that I have no business. I have no education on the topic, and it's not my place. A politician doesn't have any place in my body, nor does it have any place in any woman's body in this whole entire world. I mean, the only person who should be choosing whether or not you get to have an abortion is you or a doctor. In conclusion, there are many different approaches to abortion, and there are many different things you could say about it. There are many different opinions on it, but I'm saying that our only approach to abortion should be, how can we help support these women? How can we educate them and provide them with everything they need to avoid the situation in the first place, to avoid the situation for a second time, or to make it through the situation that they are currently in. Support is never a bad thing, and it's been proven that the support in these situations helps get people out of them and helps them from getting back in them ever again. So financially, mentally, physically, we need to be supporting these women, and we need to ask ourselves if what we are doing is progressive or if it is just repetitive and pointless.